It is Saturday and my last video was, I think, 2 weeks ago. I had my colonoscopy and gastroscopy and nothing really exciting was found. And then I got home and that night I had a bit of a sore throat, and obviously I assumed it was from the gastroscopy. And then I just felt like kind of like I was getting the flu. I felt really achy, really sore, really off. William had been really upset the day before and he had a little rash around his mouth, and we figured it was his first tooth coming in and he was having a teething rash. No, he had hand, foot, mouth. And then he gave it to Edward. And then they both gave it to me. Now, it says on Google that adults aren't meant to get it so bad. It was 2 weeks of my whole face, like from here down, so not my whole face, but you know, 3/4 of it, just red raw, pussy blisters. My scalp, my hands, my palms, like fingers, my feet in between my toes. It was awful. It was like probably one of the worst things I've ever had. It was horrible and it was so sore. All my hands, the skin has now peeled off, like in chunks, in layers. My whole thumbs peeled the whole way down. Everything else, there was just literally hundreds and hundreds of little blisters coming off them. It was awful and I looked terrifying. Like, I don't know how Cam didn't scream every time he saw me. He did a few times. It was just, yeah, it was not good. And thankfully the boys only got it really lightly, I guess, compared to what I did. But yeah, that's not fun. So at least I know that it wasn't William teething, because he just cried for like 2 days straight. He was really upset, and he does not cry. He is like an angel baby. So I was really worried it was his teething and he was going to like be this sick and be this awful every time he got a tooth. So I'm kind of glad that it was that, and I really hope we don't get it again. In saying that, I've got a friend whose kids have had it 7 times this year alone. If I ever get that again, like, I don't know how I'm going to cope. It was awful. Anyway, so that kind of cleared up. My hands are still peeling, but that kind of cleared up late last week. I've still been feeling really off. So on Monday, it was a public holiday, so Cam was home with the kids, and I thought, stuff it, this is the only chance I'm going to get. So I said, I'm going to go to emergency and I'm going to make someone do something, because I feel so sick all the time. I'm in so much pain. Nothing's getting better. Nothing had shown up from all the tests, all the blood tests, all the scans, the CAT scan, the ultrasounds, the gastroscopy, the colonoscopy. Nothing had really shown up, but I knew something was wrong. So I went to emergency and I was admitted straight away, and I had more blood tests. Nothing came up. And the doctor there that was basically like, we can't find anything wrong with you. Like, everything's perfect. All your levels are great. So I felt really disheartened, and I was getting like really emotionally upset by it, because I just have felt so sick, and it's like nothing is getting fixed. Nothing is getting sorted. I don't know what's wrong, but this can't be normal. Like, I can't live like this. The pain is so bad. I can't play with the kids properly. It's stopping me from living the life I want to live. So I was getting a bit sad. She said, look, we're going to keep you in overnight, and the surgeon that did my gallbladder and that did all my recent tests is going to come in tomorrow, and we'll have a chat and whatever else. So I did not want to stay in, and I was not expecting it, because the last couple of times I've gone, I've been out in a couple hours. So I was not happy. I didn't have a phone. I didn't take anything with me. I wasn't expecting it. And of course with COVID, there's no visitors. So Cam couldn't come up and just like bring me stuff, and he obviously had the kids. So eventually he brought the kids up and just dropped me off a phone charger and like a bra and a nightie. So I stayed in, and I saw the surgeon the next morning at, I think it was about 9 o'clock. And he said, the only thing I can think of doing is going in with a camera. It'll take about 9 minutes. We'll go in like a tiny little nick on one of the scars you've already got. So there'll be like no recovery. We'll just go in and have a quick look inside, because something's obviously bothering you. And none of the scans, are, as I said, have showed anything up. We could do like more different types of MRIs and stuff, but like it might just be easier doing this. So I was like, all right, if I haven't got the downtime, if it's not going to be like too big a deal, if it's just like a really light, quick anesthetic, then I guess let's do it. So I went down at 9:40 in the morning, and it was meant to take just a couple minutes, and then I was going to be back up. I woke up 4 hours later to be told that they had taken my appendix out. Instead of being like a short, fat little organ, it was, I think, 12 centimeters or something long. It had gone like a long, thin white worm. It was completely infected. It had obviously had massive attacks before, and it had moved behind my bowel and gone up. So it wasn't even remotely in the right spot that it was meant to be. And then my cecum was this massive floppy ball that was just like floating around. So they have like kind of reshaped it and they have attached it to the wall of my abdominal cavity. And I had 4 torsions in the start of that going into my colon or intestines or whatever. So there was 4 twists going into that in the first few centimeters. So yeah, I was not expecting that. I woke up with another organ gone and like another fairly decent surgery. I had 3 incisions to get it out. I was really, really groggy when I woke up and my oxygen levels weren't good for about 12 hours afterwards. So I had to stay on the oxygen nose mask thing, which was really annoying. And I was just in shock, basically, that another surgery, another 6 weeks of not being able to pick up the kids and not being able to ride my horse, not being able to play with the cows or do anything I want. And yet part of me was so glad that there was something wrong that they found that they could fix. And hopefully this is it now. And I'm going to be happy and healthy and just feel better and be able to do all the things I want to do. So I still, like, it hasn't really sunk in. I was not expecting that at all. Like, the pain I've had has been nowhere near my appendix. I've had scans and everything on it. It's never shown up being anything wrong with it. Yeah. So that's like all of my donatable organs have now gone, basically. So yeah, I stayed in hospital until Thursday, which was the day before yesterday. So I got out on Thursday and then I've just pretty much been in bed and slept since. Mum's had little and Edward's been going to daycare. Today, Cam's taken the boys out to go look at trees because we need to get more trees for the farm. And I'm just like cruising in bed. I've been watching Netflix, which I don't really normally do. I don't have any hunger pangs at all, and I haven't for weeks now. And when I was eating, I just wasn't keeping anything down. So it like put me off eating. So it's really hard to get myself back into that groove of like, I live my life like, what's my next meal? What's the next food I'm going to have? And now it's like, oh, I haven't eaten for 2 days again. I need to eat something. So I'm working on that. And yeah, I'm just hoping that I'm up and about soon and I can run around, and we've got a holiday coming up in Queensland in a couple of weeks. I hope that I can go and that I'm going to be feeling good, and yeah. So yeah, a little bit of a shock. So it's just Russell today and I hanging out in bed. I've got Sundance in here as well. She's just come in from outside and she's drenched from head to foot and she's like a wet sheet. So I've got candles on trying to eliminate her smell. I'm just going to rest up and heal and try and feel better. And hopefully this is the end of all medical stuff now.